Okay, in this, we are continuing to ask what is the normal skin tone of an African American person, but using, in this case, Igbo primarily as stand ins for the main African component of African Americans. We're only doing this based upon a research as to what groups were majorly supplied as enslaved persons to the Americas or to North America, primarily to the United what became the United States, and also to the Caribbean, the Anglophone Caribbean, because enslaved persons did not always simply travel or get transported from Africa directly to what is now the United States or the United States. A significant number, about 15 to 20%, some people might not see that as significant, but it depends on the time and the place. A significant number were brought from Africa to the Caribbean, and then from the Caribbean to what is now the United States. Okay, so this is from a blog celebrating Indibo, and this is obviously a dark-skinned man of the Igbo tribe or ethnic group. You will see that most in this blog are dark skinned, as indeed most Igbo are dark skinned, but it is not something that they are shocked by when they come across members of their group who are light skinned or lighter skinned, even within the same family. And the observation that I have made, let's just see. We're going to do the part for a minute. Just for a minute. Let's spell her name right. This is an observation that I have made that oftentimes it seems as if darker Igbo women seem to have noses that are not even as broad as uh, lighter skinned Igbo women. although I would not say that her nose is in any way un-African. It may simply be, I don't know if it's smaller in size. Maybe I'm delusional, but comparing it to by the way, it was good to actually see people's actual hair texture. But clearly, her nose, to me, looks broader and flatter than the other lady I showed previously. But anyways, going back to unless she had a nose job or it's the angle, but that's just something that's interesting to me. But most of these people are dark skinned. I suppose I can do one on Congolese people as well, since they are another major component of our ancestry. Again, with women, you can't make judgments about hair because too many of them don't wear their own hair. Black and white picture can't vouch for that. Also, not sure about someone with a non Igbo last name, but this is probably the average. complexion. Okay, now we can close this out and close this out as well. And this is it showing the ancestry composition of African Americans according to a study. You see that Nigerian is the highest, followed by Sierra Leone, Liberia, Ivory Coast, and Ghana. European is not insignificant at 15%. And Congo is actually subdued. This is in comparison to slave trade uh, statistics or slave trade. I guess you can say slave trade statistics or the number of people recorded as having landed in what is now United States. It's not very important, but now we can go to the free enslaved population. Okay, so in 1790, slaves, just showing you the numbers. Try not to move too fast so you can see these numbers. And what we can see is that Virginia had more people, more enslaved people than did any of the other states in the South. If we count Delaware as being part of the South, then Virginia had the most enslaved people in what am I trying to say? It had the most enslaved people in the country in 1790. So this would accord with, if you say 23andMe, we're just going to say Reddit, random person, African American DNA 23 and me. Any random person. Okay. And if it doesn't prove my point, then hey, whatever. This one won't. I see. Nevertheless, not now. We saw previously was an average nationwide. So individuals, as they say, individual results will vary. This lady she is almost entirely African. In fact, her results look sort of Gullah Geechee based upon how high of a Ghanaian, Liberian, and Sierra Leonean she has in comparison to her Nigerian. Oh, okay, so she's half African American. So she may have, at least that's what it says. Let me see. Yep, knew it. Yes, my mother's side has some Geechee in them. So Geechees are a bit different from African Americans in general. And that would explain, although Geechees are not half African American, but that would explain her results. So let's see. Black female from the Midwest. And this is more in line with what we tend to see for 23andMe results. Of African Americans. Okay, so I'll let this be all. Thank you.